Hey guys, welcome back. So today I think we'll talk about another program which was on TVO here in Canada. Now, TVO, as I've mentioned before, stands for TVOntario. It's usually geared towards younger children. I remember growing up here in Ontario and watching a cartoon which was really special to me when I was growing up, but as I look back at it now, it seems as though the animators and the creators were on something else when they created this show. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about Doctor Snuggles.
Snuggles finding a heart in the rainbow. Doctor Snuggles builds a clever machine.
If you've never heard of Doctor Snuggles, it was a wonderful little cartoon which was broadcast here in Canada on TVOntario. Now, on the surface, it looks like a very innocent cartoon. It's about an elderly gentleman who is an inventor and spends his days creating new inventions to help solve problems that go on through his daily life. The problems which Dr. Snuggles faces are somewhat fantastic in the way they show up. For example, in one episode, aliens from another planet are stealing our water. It would just make the water levels decrease. But in the Dr. Snuggles universe, when they steal water, the water literally disappears in square blocks. I'm not kidding. They literally are cutting out square blocks of water and taking it to their planet. Now, the way Dr. Snuggles decides to actually solve this problem is to launch in his self-made rocket called Dreamy Boom Boom. Now, I'm no NASA scientist, but Dreamy Boom Boom looks like it'll fall apart at any second. Dreamy Boom Boom's main body is made of what looks like a wine barrel. The top of the actual rocket itself seems to be a kettle or some sort of gigantic pot, which has a window drilled out of it. The bottom basin also looks like a gigantic pot, and the wings, well, they're wings. And the way the rocket starts to blast off is by a switch, which you have to climb out the top of the window in order to pull, and then the ignition starts. One of Dr. Snuggles' most impressive inventions is Mathilda Junk Bottom, who was created to help Miss Nettles with her house chores. Mathilda is probably the most helpful of Dr. Snuggles' inventions. You have your regular list of characters. There's Dr. Snuggles, his housekeeper, Miss Nettles, the troublemaking mouse, Nobby, Dr. Snuggles' chief companion, Denis the Badger, the two rabbit twins, and some occasional villains from time to time. Dr. Snuggles' main enemy is Dr. Emerald, who is a magician of sorts and lives on Seaweed Island. The adventures which Dr. Snuggles goes on are so fantastic. In one case, he actually travels into this night sky and meets with dreaming sheep. You know, the kind you count when you want to go to sleep. There he encounters a wonderful creature named Moogie. Moogie appears as a camel who enjoys a spot of tea. I should mention now that the series itself is very British in its culture, and Moogie loves to have Dr. Snuggles snuggle in between his humps while enjoying a cup of tea.
Welcome to Lavender Lullaby.
Who said that?
Me. A cup of tea, Doctor. You take sugar. Don't be frightened. Come on.
Coming.
That's right. I'm Woogie. Sit between my humps. You'll be more comfortable. There.
Thank you.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Looking at the series now as an adult, I really have to think that the animators and the creators, in a lot of ways, it seems like they were on some other sort of influence while creating the series. I'm kidding. But truthfully, the series itself is a wonderful series. The animation was so well done, and it really was a series which was beyond its time. I really look fondly back at the series because it sort of allowed me to remember how imaginative it was being a child. I wasn't restricted by, the daily pressures of everyday life. I could just sit back and imagine what it was like to go on one of Dr. Snuggles' adventures. It really was a magical animation, which allowed me just to keep dreaming and keep imagining. And you know what? That's something special. Dr. Snuggles was created by Jeffery and it was broadcast here in Canada on TVOntario. I really love Dr. Snuggles. It really was a great memory from my childhood, and I can't imagine ever growing up without having watched this series. If you're interested in looking at Dr. Snuggles, unfortunately, I'm not even sure if they have any DVDs on sale. If they do, I'll put the link in the description below. But right now, you'd probably be best looking on YouTube for some uploads that people have actually tried to put up. I really suggest you take a look at it. It's a wonderful looking animation, and in truth, it still holds up really well today. Well guys, that'll about do it for my look back at Dr. Snuggles. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like. If you have any comments or suggestions on anime or animations or cartoons that you'd like me to review, please leave that in the comment section below. Well guys, as always, thanks for watching. Check out some of the other episodes I've done. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter.